Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, December the 2nd. I can't believe that it's already December. Kind of scary how fast time flies. But I'm here today at home from work because my poor husband, he isn't feeling good. He's got pneumonia. I think so. I'm just kind of watching things to make sure I don't have to run him up to the hospital. And Malcolm, my little fuzzy boy, my Westie, he's not doing too good either. So I'm just kind of playing nursemaid today, which is just fine. But I thought while I was home, I'd go ahead and take this video since I didn't do it last night. But we're here with the boys now. And this, of course, is Oliver on the left, my Grant sculpt, and Finn on the right, which is my Adri Stoat berry sculpt. And they've been on a big adventure, everybody. They've been moose hunting. Not hunting with rifles or anything like that, but they were on a moose hunt with Clifford. Of course, Finn can't go anywhere without Clifford. And they brought home a moose. As you can see him, Murphy moose. They were out in the woods, very cold, and all they wanted to do was bring home a pet moose. And they did, and his name is Murphy. But Oliver and Finn were certainly dressed for it. Finn in his gymboree woodland outfit. I'm not sure what the actual name of the set is now, but he has a matching moose hat, and I put the little antlers up on his top of his head so that you could see what they look like. And really, they're kind of flop down like that. They're so cute, and he looks so cute in it. And he has his moose sweater, little woodland creature with his scarf, and he thought that would be appropriate to wear for his moose hunting trip. And of course, Finn could not be outdone. Don't know if you can see that really good, but he has on his fleece, or kind of a velour fleece, little zip-up hoodie that has a moose on the front in plaid, and a red onesie underneath. And of course he has his moose hoodie hat on with the little ears, but he has to have a little red beanie on underneath that because you know he's bald, so we got to keep his head warm while he was out there. Anyway, it took them about a week, but they found their Murphy the moose, and they've brought him home, and they're very tired. As you can see, Finn is just kind of grumpy looking. So they've got their bottles, and they said they would do this video with Mom before they took their long hibernating nap until next week. But I am really enjoying this method of madness that I have of doing 2 at a time, because it just worked out perfectly, and I can kind of match their outfits the best I can and do their little stories. And I know I can plan and organize that I'm going to do my videos on Sunday and Tuesday and Thursday. And then that way I just kind of keep control of it. And I thought, well, I'm just not going to do changing videos of the big kids because they take a while, but change everybody on Saturday so that I can enjoy them in their little outfits for at least a week, and then do the videos. But I will do a changing video on the little girls. I'll have one dressed, and I will change the other one for their videos, and I'll alternate that. So anyway, that's Finn and his brother Oliver. And I have a little announcement. Somebody's going to be joining our nursery pretty soon, and it's especially for Oliver. But it's not a baby. It is kind of a baby, but it's not what you think it is. And I'm really excited about it, and Oliver's very excited about it. And we're going to do a little box opening next week with that. And if I get it before Thursday rolls around, then we'll probably do it anyway without worrying about trying to do it on my little schedule. Anyway, I wanted to thank everybody that made comments on my last video. It was just lovely hearing everybody's thoughts about Christmas and being overwhelmed at Christmas and the stress at Christmas and what is the important things to focus on and what they do and how they feel about it. I've really got some beautiful comments that I would encourage you to go back and read. You know, some very sweet things. And of course, there was some about focusing on the birth of Christ, which really, that is the focus. And I sometimes lose it totally with all the things that are going on. But not this year. I've simplified. Tomorrow I'm going to put my tree up. I'll take a little video of that. I'd love to see your trees. If you have them up or any time during the year, I'd love to see a picture of your tree or whatever, and that would be great. Anyway, before I close, I did want to say something about funny trees. Well, funny memories. I was thinking about some memories of my childhood and Christmas trees, and as I said before, my father was German, and we did pretty much a traditional German Christmas where we got the tree, a live tree that they had picked out before. We went and picked it up and brought it home and did all the decorating on Christmas Eve, and then opened our presents, and then we had the tree way into January. And that was really neat. But when we moved from back east to California, and we moved to Seal Beach, California, which is in Southern California, but it's on the beach. It was wonderful. It was a new development called Rossmore, and this is in the early 60s, in fact, 1960. And everything was, new and modern, and the track that we moved into was just like that, and everything, that was just it, to be new and modern. And even in Disneyland, they had, at that time, a modern House of the Future that everybody loved to go see. Anyway, the trend became to not have a real tree, but an artificial tree. Now, this isn't just an artificial tree. I don't know if any of you remember it, and especially my international friends in Australia and England and Europe, they probably didn't do this thing. But it was a tinfoil tree, and I kid you not. In fact, I have found a picture of it, and a picture on images of a 1960 tinfoil tree. And they were branches, and they were all silver foil, okay? And it was supposed to be easy. And you put them all into the thing, and they branched out. And you did not put any lights on this tree because it would burn up immediately. But you had a color wheel that you turned on, and it went from blue, yellow, red, and green, and it rotated onto the tree. So the tree, would change colors. And if you had what my parents had, was a musical stand that you turned on, it played Silent Night and Jingle Bells and a few other different little tunes, and it rotated the tree. And while the color wheel was going. And so that was the trend. In everybody's house I went to, they all had one of these spiffy tinfoil silver trees. That was like the trend, and and the thing to do at the time, and it showed progress or whatever, and you put different ornaments on it, but most people just would put like pink and silver or pink and some other kind of color of bulbs because it all reflected in the lights. Anyway, that lasted a few years, I will tell you. And then in about 1968, my parents got divorced, and my father moved to Houston because he was in the space program, putting the man on the moon, 1968. Well, my mother and I downsized. We lived in the same tract. We just got a smaller place. And I told her when we were packing, and here I was like 13 years old, I said, I do not take that silver Christmas tree. We're not doing that, Mom. We're not doing that anymore. It's dumb. I want a real Christmas tree. So, of course, from then on we did, and that was the end of the silver tree. But it was a very interesting type of tree, and it was pretty funny. And so at the end of this video, I'm hoping to have some of those pictures of those trees and the color wheel and the music stand. I did find a picture of our exact music stand and the color wheel. So you can see what I'm talking about. I don't think you'll believe it because, you know, most of you are younger, a lot younger than us and than me. And you probably never even heard it. It didn't last long. The trend didn't last long. People just finally came to their senses and said, what is this? We don't need a modern Christmas like that. And people basically went back to traditional Christmas trees. Thank goodness. Anyway, that's it for today. And we'll just zoom in to have a good look at Finn and Oliver again. And my husband came out and told me last night, he said, do you know what the #1 name in the UK is for a boy now? It's Oliver. Well, I had no idea, but it's certainly a nice name. And then there's Mr. Finn. And then, of course, let's say goodbye to Mr. Murphy the moose. He's here to stay now. He likes it here. It's nice and warm, and he gets fed good. And, of course, Mr. Clifford that has to go on all the adventures because he takes care of everybody. Thank you, Clifford. We're so happy. And they're going to feed their bottles. They're going to have their bottles now and go to sleep. So until Monday, goodbye, and thank you for stopping by. I appreciate all my subscribers, all my new subscribers. Thank you very much for taking the time here. And I've really enjoyed everybody's channel that I've been watching this week. I can't mention enough of you, but I did want to have a little shout out to Susanna, Suzanne's Babies. She tells a little story about, it was her anniversary this week, and she tells a wonderful story about her wedding and picking out her dress. It's wonderful. I love her stories. So I'd encourage you all to go over and watch that one because it is a darling story, and she's changing Miss Macy into a darling outfit. In fact, you might even see that it's similar. It's the same one that she sent to my Charlotte for last month. Alrighty, I will talk to you later. Goodbye, and have a very safe and good weekend. God bless you.